Hi tribe, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be going over protein, all the benefits, how much you should be eating, where you can get your sources from, answering any questions you have, and why it is so incredibly beneficial in your fitness goals. So let's just get into it. Protein, what is it? Where does it come from? Protein comes from foods like chicken, lean beef, fish, cottage cheese, and eggs. Those are all excellent sources of protein. When we're talking about protein as a macronutrient, it's one of the big three. We have proteins, fats, and carbs. The reason I'm focusing so much on protein today is because I don't think enough people understand how much they should be eating and why it is so incredibly important. Protein contributes so much to your regular bodily functions, just transporting enzymes, helping build structural tissues in your body. Like muscle, for example, it helps to build muscle so that you can get stronger, so that you can look more toned if that's your goal, or if you're trying to just build muscle like a bodybuilder, you want more protein. It also becomes so much more important to get more protein in the older that you get. A lot of people don't know that. If we're talking a fat loss phase where you're eating less calories so that we can shed some fat and show some muscle coming through, protein is going to help a lot with feeling full. You're going to feel hungry during a fat loss phase, but it's going to help you so that you do feel a little bit more full and satisfied. Protein also has a higher thermic effect of food whenever you eat it. So what that means is if you're comparing it to carbs and fats, it just takes more calories from your body to physically digest protein compared to carbs and fats. So that just means your metabolism gets a slight boost from getting more protein in. And we want to take every win that we can when you are in a fat loss and a muscle gaining phase. So it's just another added benefit. You will want a higher protein intake when you're in a calorie deficit or a fat loss phase because your body is focusing on getting rid of weight, and we want that weight to come from fat. If you're not getting enough protein in, your body's going to start to pull from muscle, and we really don't want to do that because muscle is metabolically active. That just means it helps contribute to our metabolism. Fat does not do that. If you're somebody who just wants to be toned, if you want to have some muscle, if you want to look shredded for the summer, you want to be getting enough protein in while you're in this fat loss phase because you want to have shape to your body. You don't want to just be like skinny fat and have nothing left on you. When it comes to knowing how much protein you should be having, that varies depending on the person. I'm running a spring program right now. It's the Strong Girl Cut. Basically just focusing on maintaining muscle, growing muscle, and then driving fat loss in a realistic way. So something that I am doing to help people calculate their protein is I'm giving them the equation of taking your body weight and multiplying it by 0.8 or 1.1 or something in between. And it's gonna give you a number that you can stick to at least start with in terms of, okay, well, where do I even start with protein? So for example, I'm about 138 pounds. So if I multiply that by 1.1, you get about 152 grams of protein. If that seems like a lot of protein, you're correct. It is a lot of protein, but like I just talked about before, protein is so incredibly important for so many different reasons, and we need a higher intake right now, so stick to it. If you have trouble sticking to a protein goal, if you're like, that's a lot of protein, I don't even know where to begin with that, something you can do is divide up the total amount of protein between all of the different meals that you have throughout the day. So if you have 5 meals, let's say, divided by 152 grams of protein, that's about 30 grams of protein per meal. And those meals don't have to be like an actual plate of food. It can be like 3 full meals and 2 snacks. We need 30 grams of protein throughout the day. I'm gonna tell you right now, because I see this a lot, if you're somebody who doesn't eat until 2 p.m., you need to have an eating schedule just so you can get enough protein in throughout the day. We want every win and we want everything on our side to help promote fat loss and to help muscle growth. So eating protein equally throughout the day like that, every couple of hours, that 30 grams is going to help promote muscle protein synthesis. And what that means is we're just going to help promote muscle growth. If you can spread it out more evenly, that's just going to help your body constantly have that fuel and that resource to help promote that. Not to mention, protein makes you feel very full. So getting a ton of protein in one sitting can be very difficult, especially if you're somebody who you just don't really have an appetite starting out. That will adjust, by the way, when you start to train, when you start having a regular eating schedule, it should adjust. I'll go through my full day of eating right now with protein. If you want to see a full video on my full day of eating, I have another YouTube video. It's in my no added sugars diet, and I have everything laid out so you can see it. Right now I'm doing 1 scoop of protein powder. I'm using Legion Athletics. You can use my code Myers to get a discount. It also helps me, so if you don't mind using that, that would be amazing. But I do 1 full scoop of either salted caramel or the cinnamon cereal one in my oats to make it about 22 grams of protein right there in the morning. The oats have a little bit of protein in it as well. Then my next meal is a Greek yogurt. It's usually like an Oikos Pro yogurt or a Chobani yogurt that has about 15 to 20 grams right there. I have that with some fruits. Then for lunch, I have something like ground turkey or salmon, just kind of depends on the day. And then for dinner, it's the same thing. So whatever I didn't have for lunch, I have for dinner. And then my last meal, if you will, is a protein shake. So I have another scoop of protein. I try to keep it to just 2 scoops because I want as much protein as possible to come from whole foods, and that I also recommend that for my clients and for you too. You want the majority of your protein to come from whole foods. The last thing that I have at the end of the night is a Dutch chocolate protein shake. I go between the casein protein, and casein protein is just a protein that digests more slowly. So again, if we can have more of a slow release of steady protein throughout the day and the night, that will help promote that muscle synthesis. So I try to lean more towards the casein. It gets really thick and you have to drink it very quickly. I did forget to mention that my other snack is cottage cheese. So those are really simple, basic, easy, guaranteed ways to get lean protein in. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have any requests for content, please comment below and let me know. If you're interested in joining my Facebook group, Talawa Tribe, that's where I post announcements on my fitness challenges, anything that I'm trying to give out for free, any free resources. It's a great community if this is something that you want to get into, you want to learn more about fitness, and you really like the mindset of you are strong, you are capable, and you are relentless, or Talawa training. Please join. We would love to have you. Follow me on Talawa Brit anywhere, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And if you're interested in coaching, I'll link my website below. I am taking on clients. I have people in person and online, and I would love to help you in your journey. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video.